It's been a wet one over here so far today. It's been raining pretty good out there. I'm not into it. Um, Rain prevents me from sleeping. I know that most people sleep very well during rain. I'm exactly the opposite of that. Rain will wake me up, and I have a lot of trouble sleeping while it's raining. So yeah, haven't been doing a whole lot of that sleeping thing anyway. And then this morning, the rain. I've been up for a couple hours. With, you know, dealing with the fact that it is a downpour. But it's supposed to rain all day. So that kind of is what it is. And I've been having some allergies the last couple of weeks, and so today is no exception to that, of course, with the rain. So, not not my favorite thing really, but we'll make it through. Be alright. Hopefully everybody else is having a good day so far, and getting your morning going, or in some cases maybe in your early afternoon, or let's see, it's 9:30 here, maybe even mid-afternoon for some of you. Regardless, hopefully the day has been and will be with all of you. I thought I would hop on and do a little crafting done right now. I didn't check to see how much we have to work with in the depot, but I think I'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully the Twitch streaming will come through recently. You never know with rain how that's going to affect my internet situation. But hopefully all will go swimmingly. We'll see. We'll find out. So right now, this character's a level 48 healer. And let's see, he's 23.7% through the level. And trade skill vitality 13.6 left. Unfortunately, the XP bonus for the server is gone. I say unfortunately, it's a mixed bag, really. I like leveling a little quicker with the trade skilling. And then with the adventuring, I feel like it's a little too fast almost. Arthur is looking for someone to craft him a T2. Well, okay, he said T2 harvesting tool. I think he probably means a level 20 harvesting tool. So, if you have any of the ash harvesting tools you can make, I believe that's what the fellow is probably looking for. Someone has kindly said no harvesting tools in T2. I think we can assume that what he's referring to is a level 20 harvesting tool. And the conversation ensues where the poor man asks if they'll start at 2-3. Yeah, technically they do. In fact, it also occurs to me, I may as well turn on. You know what? I don't even think I do have some. I don't have them on, so I guess of no consequence. My power regen totems might be going, but my health one is certainly not. I don't see any spirit totem of the wolves in my bags, so I may have actually finished those up. It looks like I probably did. Now I have a blood of the wolf, and I think it may be that the blood of the wolf does not stack with the totem of the wolf. I think that's correct. And so I should go ahead and just stick this totem of the wolf, I mean blood of the wolf rather, into, probably into the depot. Just for curiosity's sake, let me see what level I have to be. Okay, it's a level 30. No, that's a level 10. Sorry, I was on the wrong thing. And this totem of bat is level 30. I want to put the blood of the wolf, which is a level 10. Level 10 is good because you can't do much at level 10. So I'll stick that in the depot. And then some of my level 10 guildmates can, grab it out and run a little bit faster. I want to lose a mantra. And there's actually also something else I wanted to throw in here. I just accidentally threw the wrong thing in there. That makes sense. It's fine. Doesn't matter. I do need to pick up some more. Looks like what? The speed totem to make sure that there is what is it? We're not up. I must have touched something weird. What else is weird? What else is weird is this won't go into the depot. Not sure what that's all about. Trying to find these. My low-level potions. I'm pretty sure that I had more than just the one thing to toss, but I'm only finding the one thing. Well, oh well. Suppose that's fine. So I'll hop on down to the trade skill instance here in Willowwood. And turn in my work requisition and also a better check the broker and see if there's any cheap apothecary items, potions and poisons. Alright, I'm currently at 30.9% next level over there.
We have the finest supplies to fill your adventuring needs.
Alright, so the cheapest apothecary stuff is this apothecary's hemotoxin. I think I already have. Maybe not. Maybe I only have superior hemotoxin. Looks like it. Interesting. Okay. Just as a little side-by-side comparison. The superior is the common one, and the apothecary's is the rare one. Level 40 and level 42, respectively. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, the apothecary's is significantly better. 25% to cast hemotoxin, lasts for 24 seconds. It initially starts out with 165 instead of 125. That's very good. And then every 6 seconds it does that again. Total of 100 triggers of the spell. Wow. Well, that's very good. Craziness. Okay. So I guess I can go ahead and grab those, but I'd rather go to the house and do it. It won't really save me that much money, but it's also right here in Willowwood, and why not, right? His name is Assault, so I'll check out Assault's house in a moment. Let's go for that. Alright. The question is, do I pick up the work order and go ahead and do that first? That would probably make the most sense. But can I remember to stop by Assault's house? That's the question. When I'm done here, do I remember to do that, or do I forget? It's gonna be a conundrum to face. So it's all right. Figure that out when the time comes. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna hop to the guild house and try to get this route done. And if I can remember to, and when I leave this guild house, I'll go to Assault's house and get some apothecary stuff. So I need a pristine fashioned diamondine symbol. The pristine part and the fashioned part don't actually need to be typed in there. All you really need is the diamondine symbol part to differentiate it from everything else, in my journal. So I just have the first few letters of diamond and the first few letters of, or diamondine rather, and the first few letters of symbol. And that popped it up pretty quickly. Serve a bit. Listening to that soothing clanking of crafting, and specifically, making jewelry, you get different, or, well, working on a workbench. It's not necessarily, in fact, right now I'm not making jewelry, I'm making a spell. Sounds are the same, though, for spell making as they are for jewelry making. I wonder if there's anything that I can find on the forge to make. That would be useful for us. And that, you know, you could basically just hear it making something. Gotta try to remember going to Assault's house when I leave there. It's a tricky thing, that. Got some loud thunder there. I was looking around on Twitter this morning. I still mostly call it Twitter. Sometimes I'll call it X, the app formerly known as Twitter, because I think that's funny. It's a little illusion. Those who know, and those who don't will wonder what I'm talking about. But anyway, I was looking on there this morning before I made myself get out of bed, and I was seeing an author, I should say, on Twitter saying that he thinks that, you know, you should, basically, it sounded like he was suggesting to indie authors that they get copies of their books in print and sell them that way. I don't know if he was going for in lieu of, or if he was going in addition to having them available online. So I thought, well, if it is in addition to, then that's a perfectly good advice, I feel. Having physical copies that you can give or sell to people that you run across in your life, I think it's a very good thing to do. But I also think you definitely have to keep in mind that there's an audience out there that does not like physical copies of things. I know it's shocking to those of us who are on the other end of that and prefer vastly the physical versions of things. I'm definitely among those people, but I understand there's a whole populace out there who wants to not have things. It's, you know, a minimalist mentality, and that's how they prefer it, to not have any physical things. So I think that if you are doing just the physical copies and you aren't doing the online copies at all, then you are limiting your audience a good bit. So that was kind of my reaction. I read it and I thought, well, I agree about diversifying the way in which you sell your product, in this case, it's a book. And I would agree that it's good to have the opportunity to purchase a physical copy, and maybe from the author themselves, right? So maybe they're selling a book, and then maybe you can get them to sign it or something like that, or you can take a picture with the author, whatever, whatever kind of way you want to do that. But one way or the other, I feel like it is important to have a physical copy on offer, and especially for things like in-person sales. Or, you can maybe put it in like a local store or something. Sometimes people like that will be interested in selling their products. But yeah, that was kind of my 2 cents on that this morning. Finished up another writ there, so see what we got from our reporter fellow. I'm at 35.7% through the level right now before I turn in. I don't remember what I was at before I started the writ, although I told you guys what it was.
Well met.
Okay, so that gave me 3.2% of the level just to turn it in, not counting the work done on it. That's just the turn in. Now it occurs to me too, while I'm running about, to turn those in, because they can just go on, in my house, however you want to look at that. These are all things I've going to be working on, or I'm going to just flip through real quick. This book appears to be This book appears to be the story about how 2 halfling children embarked on some exciting adventures. Unfortunately, most of the pages have been ripped out of the book. The title of the story is Adventures of Jorbo and Mappy. One day, Jorbo and Mappy decided to have an exciting adventure and visit far-off lands. Packing their bags, they told their moms what they were about to do. With a kiss to their forehead, both mothers gave their 2 boys their blessing. Alright, so that's that one. I'm not gonna do anything more with that right now. This one I just started yesterday over in Temple of Closet Group. It says, this book appears to be a tale of mythological stories. It looks as if it was translated from another language. Unfortunately, most of the pages have been ripped out of the book. The title on the first page is The Amygdalian, the Form. In the time before the land was flowing with thought and emotion, there were those who were the only ones who felt. The source of Amig was amongst these beings that were the only keepers of emotion. Being the first, he did not know of solid forms, nor did he need them. But as the other lesser emotions would take forms, he too would see the need to do the same. In his great wisdom, he chose to observe the other lesser emotions and watch as they chose a solid form. Once these great feelings would complete their transformation, the Amig would take a form that was even greater than all the rest. This would show his magnitude among the lesser emotions, so that they would know their place in the world. Right? And then we have Words to Remember by Mother DC. This book appears to be a collection of halfling proverbs. Unfortunately, most of the pages have been ripped out of the book. The title of the collection is Words to Remember by Mother DC. Request. Cooperation is the flower of philanthropy. The love of evil is the root of all money. Okay. So that was words to remember. The clay golem heart isn't going to do anything right now. It just says this is the heart of a clay golem, but it is required for something in Cosmic Fool. I want to skip over a foul wind. I know what it is and where it takes me, and I don't want to do it right now. We've got a goblin notebook in the history of the condemned catacombs. Breaking into catacombs and stealing artifacts is what we do best. The necrosis clan strikes fear into the heart of men. Well, that should have been a period and next to it started, but here we are, I suppose. We are many. Augur, shrew, and conscript will always be. They are our workers. Help us dig. Help us carry the artifacts. Then the guards and crones watch the hallways for intruders, making sure no one comes near the Wraithcaller or his thaumaturges. If someone does get by, me, I'm sure that the elite guards or beldames will surely take care of them, or will take care of them. But if not, the mighty one will see that they shut their eyes in eternal sleep while the necromancers trap their souls as pets. Alright. We have a metal stinger cap. The stinger doesn't look like it was naturally part of the creature you pulled it from. The stinger looks like it was artificially capped. Put that away. Then we have this stained in it, a partially torn note. It's barely legible and written with a crude script which is difficult to decipher. Sentences and scrawled drawings appear to be purposefully written in shorthand and broken sentences with additional quick sketches. Put that away. I don't think this will offer me anything. A small worn key suitable for opening a chest or container. I feel like that came from one of the split plugged in zones that I was in, and I think I can probably get rid of it at any point. Then we have this old key. It's got a witch's cauldron on it. Picture of a cauldron etched into it. Okay. At first glance, you notice nothing strange about this old key. Let's rub the dirt from the neck of the old key. Clearing the key of dirt, you notice an etching of a cauldron on one side and a cove on the other. You wonder what this could mean. Well, that is for that zone in Neck Forest called Cauldron Hollow. Then we've got Collapse. While the Wrath's inhabitants tried to piece together their lives in the aftermath of the Age of War, other forces were at work that would ultimately change the face of the world. Every day they considered themselves fortunate. Although Rivervale and the Misty Thicket had been overrun by the hordes of the Inferno during the Age of War, the occupation was a relatively short one. Rebuilding commenced before the last mound of dead orcs and goblins had finished smoldering. The runny-eyed goblins, what was left of them anyway, were sent sniveling back to their caverns. The halflings looked forward to an age of peace. Okay, this is a concealed blood spear from Temple of Khazad-dûr. The blood sphere can reveal the correct idol of the keeper. Look within its depths as you stand within the keeper's chamber. So we'll have a look at that here in a little bit, I think. Not necessarily. I don't know, maybe today. Got an ad starting in 1 second. After the sudden invasion of Gupta by the new Relosian army, a band of Proglux heads north to seek help. Without the aid of the Avatar of War, the ogres could never have planned such an attack. Gupta had been the site of many battles over the years, but the force arrayed by General Uduk proved strongest of all. Now, though they were loath to do so, the Proglux were on the run. The ogres never before had such a force, despite their brute strength. No, it was not a newly intelligent ogre that bested the Proglux, but the Avatar of War itself. Right, that was Deep Marshes. Here we have a Parsees trading with requisition that wants us to hunt briar cubs. We haven't done that one yet, so we'll go ahead. Or maybe we have, because it's not triggering. So maybe we do have that. Destroy it. We got the fleshbound tome. The tome seems to be fashioned from some sort of leathery material. It has been formed with fine craftsmanship to appear like the stretched skin of a dark elf's face, eyes and mouth sewn shut with sinewy threads. A thin but durable chain is stretched round the tome and fastens with an ornate lock. Soak the lock and read the book. Journal entry, Dark Day. I have arrived in Necklace Forest in search of my past. The House of Everling held a great manor within this vast timberland. Now that Neriak has fallen, I can safely explore this land. There are no more dark elves to keep me from my rightful riches. No more shall the name Everling be separated from its grandeur. I shall begin my trek to reclaim lost fortune by searching for Timber Falls. It must surely be at the front of the Torrent River, a fitting place to build a good path to a grand castle. Journal entry, Burn Day. I've made my way to Timber Falls only to find a glade of natural grandeur. Although it is a beautiful sight to behold, it is not the location of Everling riches. This natural beauty does not make up for the dangers faced approaching here. I will seek another site I've heard of in this land. They say there is a little titanic ramp that rises to meet a higher plateau. I will find this ramp and climb it. From the vantage point of such a structure, I may be able to spot the towers of Everling Estate. Journal entry, Wind Day. Curse this land of haze. I have climbed the mighty ruin and gazed down upon the lowlands only to see the haze bash that blankets the land. It is worse yet upon this plateau. I can barely take a breath without choking. I shall return to the lowlands and seek out a place more befitting of my lineage. I will seek out a lake, the dark elves call Bone Lake. It should rest northeast of here. It is supposed to be the largest lake in the forest. Perhaps there are traces of my ancestors around such a lake. Journal entry, Steel Day. I have traveled the banks of this lake for naught. I made camp here along the north bank, only to be awakened in a cold sweat and memories of a haunting vision. In my feverish nightmare, I was confronted in the darkness by two gargoyles with eyes flame. A door was placed between these titans. They stood silent, and with a sudden snap they lashed out at me. All went black. That is when I awoke. What does this mean? Perhaps the mushrooms I added to my stew were not as agreeable as I'd hoped. Perhaps I now seek the door between the gargoyles. Could this be Necromancer's castle? Journal entry, Wind Day. I already did that. I must have just hit previous accidentally. Let's try. Ah, yes, I did. Let's try next. Simply amazing. I have entered the courtyard of Castle Necropos. The grandeur of this castle is formed of twisted walls and crooked towers. What form of mad mind could have engineered this place? It chills me to the bone to gaze upon the sorrowful manor, but the promise of lost riches deep within its halls beckons me forward. I am an Everling, and this is my claim. I spy what appears to be a smithy's workshop ahead. I shall see what, if any, wonders lie within. I have made my way into the blacksmith's forge house. Although I have believed this castle abandoned, I instead enter this chamber to find the embers of the forge illuminating the darkness. Someone has been working within here. I would guess work, but the foul stench is absent. I will continue without torchlight. I am now thankful for the ring passed down, the circlet of Recantus. It gives me the eyes of the Chidal. I shall be able to move silently, with sword in hand. I am feeling a presence call to me. It pulls me toward dark hallways to the southeast. I have happened upon my first encounter of life and myth. While wandering the dark halls, I believe I saw a ghostly figure run in front of me. I gave chase and ended up here in the chapel. I cannot believe my eyes. This is the chapel of Uruk. I recall tales of this chapel being told by a dark elf in the back alley in Freeport. Never did I expect to find the mythical chapel of trees in the ruins of my ancestors. The dark elf mentioned a concealed vault in here he was unable to open. I think I took him for being wraith-brained. I recall the drunkard mumbling something about battling the traitorous forces within the chapel and releasing its secret into him. Then he passed out. There seem to be signs of the villainous sect existing in here. But how can I, a single adventurer, battle against such odds? But an even better thought to ponder is where did that ghostly figure vanish to? Perhaps it was just a pale servant. I shall seek the servants' quarters as soon as I come to a decision of whether or not to do a battle in this sanctum of betrayal. I have found what was once a servant's personal quarters. It appears to have at one time been changed into an oubliette through great arcane power. Shifted walls swallowed up the doorway that led into this chamber. The only way in was through a breached wall in the adjacent corridors. Whoever was imprisoned in this chamber was never meant to escape. Unfortunately, there seems to be no signs of the servant's remains, which leads me to believe he has escaped. I find myself praying to silent gods. I pray that this dangerous servant be far from Necromancer's castle. I spent a restless night within what was once the bunkhouse for Everling Crusaders, the elite guard for my ancestors. I heard horrid sounds all through the night. I set a spike to hold the door closed for the night, and huddled next to a fire I had started within the maw of a fireplace that had not been used in decades at least. Now I am on to see what lies nearby. I kept hearing the clinkings of billiard balls all night, but was far too frightened to investigate in the pitch of the night. I found the source of the clanking of midnight billiards, the game room. This hall was intended to relieve the stress of nights. Ah, yes, night to C3. The thought of ancient Everling tactics seizes my unsettled mind. The equipment seems to be as twisted as everything else, tormented and frozen in mid-play. Although I heard of a game of billiards from this hall, it is quite apparent no fun has been had here in ages. Perhaps the sound came from above. Here I stand within the great banquet room reserved for the Everling family. I could have sworn I heard a large gathering within, even smelling roast boar. I swung open the doors to find nothing but emptiness, not even a rat scurrying from sight. The fireplace of the hall was crowned with a hideous mounted boar's head. It almost seemed as though the thing was alive. I felt it staring at me when I left the room. I have discovered much in the library, as expected. This is a wealth of information. The Everlings detailed much about their passion for evil artifacts and dark magic. Such things are more fitting of a dark elf rather than a human. For Cantus's eternal research of the occult must surely have something to do with the demise of this place and the Everling name. I have also discovered books familiar to this journey of mine. It is most certainly a claim to my heritage. The patchwork flesh-like material also exists on books for each of the family, at least members of the Everlings that last dwelt here. I am taken aback by the sight and feel of this bedroom. I entered the cold, dusty chamber with chills abounding, but something overtook me that I could not explain. I began to feel a great comfort, a great love for this place. I must have blacked out for quite a spell. I awoke, feeling as though it was weeks later. The room was disturbed as if I had been living within for this lost time, carefree and ignorant to what lay beyond the bedroom. I must have escaped the spell, or it wore off. I care to never return here, and that little doll upon the bed is hypnotic, staring at me. I hear the name Drusus. I've discovered a room that appears to have been recently lived in. I cannot say I feel the warmth of the living in this place, but something has definitely been inhabiting the room. The books upon the case appear to have been moved, and a number of them seem to be recently published editions. The symbols upon the walls are strangely familiar. I have seen them elsewhere on some adventure. I do believe I will hold up in here for a spell. perhaps rest and read a book or two before I decide how best to renovate my reclaimed estate. The door to these quarters has slammed shut. I cannot open it. There's only one way to go, forward, or rather below. I fear what lies ahead, but I am here now. Pray that my lineage gives way to mercy from whatever horror I am fated to encounter within these halls. I should have disregarded the clues that unveiled the existence of this castle. The place is slowly turning into part of my past. I do not wish to claim, and was best left in slumber. Sorry. Slowly turning into part of my past I do not wish to claim, and was best left in slumber. Why did I take this wicked, wretched tome from the evil hag? Aldous Everland. After finding my way into the cellars, I have found the Countess's concealed codex. Perhaps, following the words within this flesh-bound tome will gain me some reward after all. I will have to thank Theorol for the nomad with due gold earned from every coin I am sure to earn from the selling of any valuables I loot here. Perhaps I will make enough to erect my own castle to rival this one. Castle. That's a nice ring to it. Welcome to the Master. The Master welcomes you, and any friends with open arms and open doors. We have waited here so long for you. Your fate awaits you beyond this door. We have prepared the laboratory for your arrival. Do come in. Alright, so that was the Fleshbound Tome. And we've got Gastron Key 1, which will show us nothing. The key looks very old and has the number 01 etched into it in Norathian. And then we got this one here, Browse Journal. And this is the last one I'll read right now, so I'm going to have to take a short-ish break. I've read this to death before, actually. BTD Start Day. 1. Craft Evolve have... No, that's not a 1. It is an I. So we're going to try that again. BTD Start Day. I, Craft Evolve, have decided to get this journey to chronicle my great deeds. One day, when all is said and done, this will probably fetch a pretty penny when I sell it to some scholar who could have the truth of my life story. First intro. BT Deepa Steel Day. Today, I finally got the best of that blasted barbarian Haddon and took his earring. He never saw me coming. I teleported in behind him and burned him to a crisp. So much for that famed northern constitution. Turn back to the first page. And then we read the 7th entry. BT Deadening Soul Day. I have taken an apprenticeship position with a powerful necromancer named Varsoon. His studies into immortality are quite impressive, and it's likely I will manage a way to live forever in his service. I shall leave my journal behind for someone to find at a later date. We turn back, and then we just have to put it away because that's where we're at the moment. Alright. Well, I'm going to take a short break. I will return probably within an hour. We'll see. It's been a pleasure streaming with you guys today, and hopefully I will see you later on. Be sure to follow me and turn on notifications so that you can see whenever I go live. I'm going to take off for now, and see you all later. Bye-bye.